Hi, I'm nutritionist, author, and TV host Zonya Foco. And today I get to introduce you to one of the most inspiring health transformations I've ever seen. This is Rhonda from Las Vegas. Like so many people, she spent decades trying to lose weight, trying different approaches, and feeling stuck. But over time, she began learning and applying the strategies from my programs. And in August of 2024, Rhonda weighed 240 pounds. 18 months later, she weighed 125. That's a loss of 115 pounds. She didn't use injections. She didn't use extreme dieting. She used simple, science-based strategies that she learned from my programs and applied them consistently. She started by learning how to eat real, satisfying food with the self-paced Eat Real for Your Health program. She then tackled her heart health with lower blood pressure deliciously and continued strengthening her habits with Beyond Ozempic. But this story is about so much more than weight loss. After 18 years on blood pressure medication, she's off. Her cholesterol, once dangerously high, is now completely normal without medication. And at 61 years old, she found her fitness love. She became a runner. This is a story about what's possible when you take it one step at a time and give yourself the chance to change. And for Rhonda, that shift started with something deeply personal, her why.
In 2016, I was diagnosed with cancer. I had diffuse large B-cell non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I had to undergo a whole lot of chemotherapy. I am all cured with that. I'm very happy about that. I'm all good with that. I never want to go back to that again. I never want to have cancer again ever in my life. I've learned that your lifestyle can contribute to a whole lot of cancers. I never want to do that. I was definitely overweight, that's for sure. I was 60 years old. I wanted to be around a lot longer with my husband. I wanted to have more energy. I wanted to do more things. I wanted to live.
That moment right there, that's what changed everything. And this wasn't her first time trying to figure this out.
So I would say really ever since college, started to gain weight. And over the years, I've tried to lose it. It never really worked. I would gain it back and then more, and I would try to lose again, and it never works. So.
And then came a question so many people ask themselves.
In August 24, I said, do I have it in me one more time? Just one more time, do I have it in me to do it? I wasn't sure if I did. I really wasn't sure. But I had been through a lot in my life. I don't have to go into all those things. But I said, no, do it. Just really focus and really do it. And I did.
Now, here's what's really important. Did Rhonda change everything overnight?
I made a lot of changes in my life, but no, it was not all at once. It was step by step. And then it just one step build onto another step, onto another step, onto another step, and I just incorporate everything in my life. It was step by step. It was definitely not all at once. So breakfast has always been my favorite meal of all time. I could eat breakfast morning, noon, and night. Breakfast has changed quite a bit because I used to always eat just refined carbs and sugary items, pancakes, French toast, white bread toast with butter and jelly and bacon and eggs, and that was going to be a hard one for me to change. I saw one of your videos on one of the courses, and you showed how to make oatmeal with flax seeds and peanut butter and berries on top. My breakfast that I have 5 days a week, which I absolutely love, is I have the oatmeal. I make oatmeal. I put in 1 tablespoon of flax seeds, 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, 1 tablespoon of the natural peanut butter, no salt. It's just the roasted peanuts, nothing else. And then I add strawberries on top to get my berries in. If I don't like blueberries or raspberries, but I love strawberries. And I have a quarter cup of mixed nuts, which is mixed spiced almonds, cashews, uh, pecans, and walnuts. I have that 5 days a week. I absolutely love it. It is so, so delicious. That is my at home breakfast.
And her taste continued to change.
We're going to a wedding in a few months, and we had the choice between either meat or vegetarian. For the first time in my life, I chose a vegetarian meal. And I would never, ever do that before. And the vegetarian meal is going to be risotto and asparagus. I don't like asparagus. I've never liked asparagus. Never, ever, ever did I like asparagus. I would never eat that. But I have to get used to eating asparagus because the wedding is going to be in a few months. So I said, well, I roast vegetables now. Let me see if I can roast the asparagus and see if I can get used to that. We did it. It was great. It was delicious. I roast asparagus. I said, you know what? It needs more than just asparagus. So let's add some stringings to it. So now, just last night, we roasted asparagus and stringings together. It was fantastic. If you had said this to me, I was going to be doing this a year ago, a year and a half ago, you were out of your mind, absolutely out of your mind. But this is what we do now, and this is who I am. So can I do this forever? I'm doing it forever. I am not going back.
That's not willpower, that's transformation. She even learned to enjoy coffee without her beloved Splenda. A lot of people think, well, it's 0 calories, so what's the problem? But it's not just about calories. Splenda affects your gut microbiome. And those gut buddies are either sending signals to your brain to eat or helping you feel satisfied. Artificial sweeteners can throw off those signals, keeping you craving more instead of feeling content. So Rhonda decided to take this one on.
But I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to do it. I need my coffee. I would put in 2 Splendas in every cup of coffee every time, and it's what I need. I said, I can't give up coffee. I can't drink coffee without Splenda. I can't drink it without the sugar taste. But I said, well, this is going to be one of the hardest things I'm going to have to do. And I just have to do it. I'm just going to try. So I said, I'll wean myself off. I can't do a cold turkey. So what I did was, for the first week, for the first cup, I used the 2 packets that I was doing. The second and third cup, just 1. And I did that every day for a week.
Because you were consuming six packets of Splenda a day.
Yes, that would be correct. I was having 3 cups of coffee. That's what I was doing. So the second week, I said, all right, let's go down. The first cup was 1 pack, and then the second and third, no Splenda. And then after that, I just said, all right, I'm done. And that was it. I weaned myself off in 2 weeks. That's the absolute truth. And I haven't had it since, and it's been months and months. I can't remember the last time I had Splenda. I cannot.
Wow, this is truly pivotal success. And Rhonda also made amazing changes in her fitness.
And as I started to lose weight, I was able to move more and walk even further. The running came in. So we came back from a vacation. So I already started to lose some weight. So I started in August. We came back from a vacation in Europe, and we were walking a lot. We were walking a lot in Europe. And I really liked it, and I wanted to keep it up. And I said, now I'm going to commit to train for the 5K. So I asked if I can join the running group. Of course, they said yes. They were supporting me. I started to walk. I would walk 20 minutes before they started to run. So when we would meet up, we would catch up with each other. And I would just walk and walk. And then I incorporated running little by little. I would walk, and then I would add maybe 5 minutes of running during my walk. And then I would add 10 minutes of running during my walk. And then I would add 15 minutes of running during my walk. And then soon I was able to run a mile. I was thrilled that I could run a mile. I was so happy. It was slow, but I did it. And then I just gradually added a little more, a little more, a little more. And finally, I was able to run my first 5K race. I fell in love with running. And I'm a runner now. I fell in love with running. I have I think 3 or 4 different books about running. I read everything I can find on running. Nutrition is so important with running. Weight training is so important with running. It took me about 6 or 7 months to start doing the weights. You've always said to do the weight training. The running book says to do weight training. I'm like, oh my goodness, now I have to do weights, so I have to get into that. So I take a body pump class now at the local gym, which my husband was doing again for about a year before I started it, and he's been trying to get me to do it. And I thought, okay, I'll give it my best, and I do the body pump.
From walking to running to body pump classes, that's the power of challenging yourself to do hard things. But you do it gradually. And these days, GLP-1 medications are a big part of the conversation when it comes to weight loss. And I asked Rhonda what she would say to people who feel like these meds are their only option.
It's certainly an individual choice, and if you feel you need to do it, then you do it. But it's not what I wanted. I didn't want to take medications. I didn't want to take any more medications for the rest of my life. I didn't want to do that. I don't think it's your only option. It wasn't my option. I did not take GLP-1s. I lost 115 pounds since August 2024. I didn't take GLP-1s.
Right.
So for me, it wasn't an option. And I did it slowly, step by step.
There isn't just one path, but Rhonda's story shows what's possible when you build the right habits, never stop learning, and create a support community, both with nutrition and exercise. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, this next idea is everything.
It's never too late. And I certainly understand very much the feeling of being overwhelmed. Thinking you have so much weight to lose. How do you do it? And I said to myself, just start 5 pounds at a time. Start with the first 5 pounds. Just focus on the first 5 pounds. And then when you get to you lose 5 pounds. Okay, now the next 5 pounds. Then the next 5 pounds. And then the next 5 pounds. And soon you've lost 20 pounds. And soon you'll 5 more pounds. 5 more pounds. So I did it little by little with the weights. I did it little by little with the running. Little by little.
That's when you know you're never going back. It's who you've become.
I want to thank you and Krista very much. You have given me the tools that I needed to do what I needed to do for my life and to help me get out of my comfort zone, because I was not one to change. I was not one to get out of my comfort zone for any of this. None of it. But it's terrific. It's crazy good.
You don't have to do everything at once. You just have to start. Rhonda's transformation happened because she learned the right strategies, applied them consistently, and gave herself the chance to change. If any of this has resonated with you, you can explore the program she took at Zonya.com. They're all on demand, so you can start anytime and go at your own pace, all from the privacy of your own home. Your transformation is possible. I look forward to hearing all about it.